Hello and welcome. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and all the bots who are tuning in live. And hello to those who are watching the recorded replay on YouTube. However you found my channel, I'm grateful for you being here or watching it, and it's a pleasure. It truly is. So basically today we'll be doing some DoodleBlobs. So this is actually something I've done every Friday for the last 2 weeks, and I'll show you what I've been doing actually. I'm super excited about this actually. I always enjoy doing some DoodleBlobs. So a DoodleBlob is essentially a blob that I doodle into, and then it therefore becomes a DoodleBlob. So in the first DoodleBlob stream, I made this blob. And so it sort of started off as a loose shape, and I added sort of augmentations, and I sort of carved into it, added some patterns, a bit of fun. In the week after that, I did my second DoodleBlob. There's a pattern forming here. Then once again, a shape, doodled and augmented into it, and also carved into it as well. And all of these actually get accumulated together into a really big poster. So this poster here, it's actually funny, when I did the first one, I tried drawing it directly into the poster, but because it's so large, I actually was only able to have 3 layers, so it caused all sorts of complications. So what I did after that is I sort of, I created separate projects and sort of minimized the size of the layer, so I was only drawing in the segment that I needed, and it allows me to have a lot more layers. So that's a really cool thing. And so today I've actually already sort of cornered off a little doodle blob that I'm going to work on today. They're actually relatively small, so there's a chance that if I get one done, I might actually just move on to the second. So I'll probably start off with this one, I reckon. And then if I get some time, I might do that one as well. But yeah, even if I just do one doodle blob a stream, you'll be surprised how long they take. So it's a bit of fun. In the previous stream, by the way, just to sort of show a little bit about what I've been doing this week. So 2 days ago I did this, which I'm going to continue actually. I kind of enjoyed this one. It's a weird artwork for me because I don't usually pick these kind of color schemes, but you've got this really deep blue background, and it's just basically a bunch of abstract blobs. And in future I'll add a few more sort of in the empty areas, and this will eventually become sort of like a iPhone wallpaper, but also a desktop wallpaper. So if you turn it to the side, should look okay for a desktop, and if you put it sort of vertically, it should look pretty cool for a any sort of smartphone, I suppose. So that's something else I'm really keen on working on, which is pretty neat. But tonight it's DoodleBlobs, and DoodleBlobs are really fun. They're really exciting. I say exciting. They're exciting for me. They're exciting for me, the artist. I hope they're exciting for you too. But there's something so therapeutic about drawing them as well, which is in Melbourne, of all places, something that I think we need at the moment, because we've had a bit of chaos in Melbourne. Let's get started. I'm rolling up my sleeves as we speak, so that's why it's all silent. Before we do though, let's choose our overlays. So for tonight, what should we do? Let's go retro. Yeah, that's cool. I like that one. That's a bit of fun. So this is the third doodle blob of the poster. So if you're new to the channel, feel free to say hello, and feel free to ask me any questions you like. I'm pretty good at Procreate, so I know more than I perhaps should, and I'm happy to answer any weird questions you might have. So for inspiration, I often refer to another doodle blob sketch I did. So if I get out of that, let's go over here. So this gives me sort of ideas on what I can draw. So I could do things like leaves, for example, or I could do maybe a sort of snake-like kind of thing wrapping around the bottom there, or I could do like a sort of tentacle thing with things growing off of this. So many things I could do. I could carve into it, add some slime, add some sort of weird organic loops on the edges, add a few swirls, add a window. That's something I haven't done yet. I might do that actually. That's kind of cool. So a little window into a landscape. That makes more sense if you're looking at it from in the right direction. But that's kind of cool. yeah, but this, yeah, it's a really fun thing, and it takes a long time to make. So, but hopefully I'll be able to sell it on my website, because a lot of the products and a lot of the artworks I make generally go into things like products, posters, things like that, which you can all find from my website, mlloydartist.com. So let's get started. I think I can't decide which one I'm going to work on. I think I shall work on, oh god, the decisions. Eeny, meeny, miny. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this one. And the reason I'm doing that one, I've kind of got a cut off of both blobs here. So that's going to help me figure out what kind of colors I want. So this one was majorly yellow with a bit of purple and a bit of pink. This one was sort of purple with mainly greens and sort of turquoise. So I kind of want a color that's a little bit different for this one, but I'm trying to think of what color would kind of work. I'm thinking I want to kind of go, and so what I'll do, I'll sort of plan out the colors first. I might even do it underneath this little outline. There we go. So let's go like that. In fact, what I'll do, I'll go like this. Nope, not like that. I'll go reference and then I'll do it. I'm getting impatient. I'm so excited. There we go. So now that I've got this, I want to try and find some colors that will, I don't know, kind of maybe be a little bit sort of different. I want them kind of contrasty. For me, colors are always a bit like a puzzle, a little bit like a Sudoku puzzle in a sense. So if maybe I'll have like little bits of blue. I don't want to go yellow or purple because we've got so much of that in these ones. And I'm thinking maybe something like that color. So I'm just sort of prepping out colors at the moment. I'm not sure about that one actually. That's a bit weird. What if we go, I mean, I do have orange, but with red, it might not come out as, might not stand out as much. I'm thinking we'll definitely go blue. Go maybe a less saturated blue. And then what do? We want to go a lime maybe. Let's try a sort of purpley. No, we've already got purple. This is the hard part. There's not enough colors. I wish humans could see more colors. That would be a fun thing. I feel like we need to do some kind of green. If we go like this, also try it out. But I think red needs to be one of the more main colors that we're using here. Yeah, I'm digging that. I think that'll work. So let's create sort of like a little palette that we can refer to later. So we'll go like that. And this isn't locked in stone or anything, but it's just something for us to think about, I suppose. There's a truth that I'm even thinking maybe I can make that a little bit more pinkish. Like that maybe. That could work actually. Maybe, yeah, I feel that works a bit better. So we'll look at those two colors. We'll go like that. I say two colors, it's about 4 colors. But once again, we'll probably end up adding more because as we add more details, we'll need to sort of separate those details as much as we can. So let's get rid of these colors and let's start with our outline. Here we go. So that's a good bit of planning, I think. It can sometimes help. So where should I begin? So first of all, I want to get the right size line. Sounds ridiculous, but to start off with a bit of consistency, I'm just sort of sketching over the previous blobs so I can get an idea of what my most common size line is. I think that's pretty good, so I'll do that. Okay, so what I can do, now by the way, I don't have to adhere strictly to this shape. I can sort of push it out or manipulate it as long as it doesn't cross into these other shapes here. So, and that's why I've kind of still got these. I've got these as kind of references really. Ah, lovely. Okay, so I feel like I do a lot of tentacles. I did a big tentacle in this one and in that one, but I want to do something a little bit different this time. I said I was going to do like a window. So I'm thinking I might continue that. I'll work on that idea. Let's do this. So we're going to go like this. But we don't want it too angular. And what I'll do, I'll go to the right pen. So I always find starting off drawing is always a little bit more, I find it a little bit more challenging than perhaps some do, especially when I'm live streaming. Maybe I'm more self-conscious. I don't know, that could be it. But let's go like that. So we're creating a window, and then we're going to draw a little world inside this blob. Oh, I want to get a smaller eraser there. So what I usually do, if you notice some of my lines look a little bit rough throughout this stream, that's fine. I usually clean them up sort of off stream. So at the end of every sketch, I'll kind of polish off lines a little bit. That's sort of, that way if I do make a poster or if I turn it into a t-shirt or something, I can essentially, yeah, I don't know, it'll look a bit nicer. So what do I want to do in here? Last time I did a tree, but I don't know if I really want to do a tree again. I feel like this time, let's do like a little dome or something. A tent or a teepee. I don't know. It's a good question. So it's like a little, sort of like a little hut or a little hobbit house that I've got in my mind here. I saw a really good hobbit house drawing on Instagram the other day. I can't remember who it was by, but it was pretty neat. And it was just a really nice line art drawing. There was no color or anything, but it was quite impressive nonetheless. Let's go. Do I want to add a little window? No, you know what? I'll keep it simple. If I add too much detail, it starts to get a bit pixelated because we're going really deep in there. Let's add a little sun. And then a cloud. A bit of lines to give the idea that we've got some shape happening. Ooh. And yeah, one of the things I've never liked about this iPad is that when I'm sort of leaning, I often press that home button. That takes me home, which is not really what I want. Speaking of home, I reckon this would be a really cool home for some strange mythical creature. I can only think of hobbits now. It's reached that point. Let's go like that. Get some foreground into this scene. There we go. Cool. So yeah, I think it's been about, God, it's been a fair few weeks into this lockdown. I think it's probably about 7 or 6. No, it's got to be more than that. No, it probably is. Probably about 6 weeks into our Melbourne lockdown. And I can't complain much. I work for an employer that looks after me pretty well. And I've got all these creative hobbies that keep me occupied. Especially this, actually. So I've really enjoyed doing Twitch and sort of streaming to YouTube in the last couple of months. It's been quite a nice thing. And yeah, I'll probably continue doing it after because it's pretty fun. I think that's a pretty good. I don't want to put too much detail in, so I'll probably leave it like that. But that's going to be a path, so that'll probably make more sense as we color it in. I was thinking of putting detail in, but it's a bit hard. And I feel like it should have some kind of window, but we'll see. Maybe put a chimney on there or something. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. Now what I should do is add just a little bit of detail for this windowsill, I suppose is what you call it. And I'll probably just make it really, really simple. I'll just put some lines there. So we've got a nice little window, just like that, looking into a world that could never exist. So yeah, it's a small little bit done, which is pretty cool. Already a good way there. Let's move on. So what should I do now? I want to do leaves again. So I want to add some kind of leaves because I was looking at the other picture and it sort of worked really well. Sort of like a, I don't know how you describe it, but sort of like a terrace of leaves. Something like that kind of thing. But I don't really know where I would put it. So I think what I'll do first, to sort of adhere to this shape and this form, I'm going to wrap around this thing, this weird doodle blob of mine. I'm going to go like that. And I might go a thinner line just so I can sort of more articulate this edge that I'm kind of creating here. And I might even just go like that. So I stress you do not have to adhere to the actual and the initial blob that you made. You are absolutely welcome to sort of increase it or decrease it as long as it doesn't go too far and it sort of starts interrupting, I suppose, the other doodle blobs. Each doodle blob is like a person. It needs its own personal and private space. There we go. You don't want to get too much in people's grill. There you go. That's a lesson from mlloyd. You can you can keep that one. That's all from me. Let's do that, and now I'll create the other edge to this kind of thing. Okay. I'm kind of liking this already. I feel like I'm in a good doodle blobs mood. I feel like when I did this other doodle blob here, which I've cut off just for this particular sketch, I wasn't in the best mindset. I was too critical of myself, but it was kind of funny because I looked back at the sketch the next day and I was like, oh, this is actually really good. I don't know what I was worried about. I feel like when you're an artist, you really are your own worst, your own harshest critic. I think that's definitely the truth. There we go. Cool. Wonderful. So in Melbourne, I sort of briefly mentioned it, but we've got these very wacky people out there. Wacky, as our chief health officer puts it, and they're sort of protesting things like masks and vaccines, and God knows where they get these ideas from. For the last couple of days, there's been a lot of protests in the city, and it's been kind of funny. Like Melbourne's usually known to be a really peaceful. Like it's actually, I think, what is it? It's like the second most popular place to live or something. I could be wrong there. I could very well be wrong. But yeah, like you wouldn't know at this particular point in our history. You would look at us and you go, what on earth's going on there? But yeah, it's a bit strange. So this weird pandemic has had some weird aftershocks. And I think it's one of the reasons I wanted to start this, actually. I'm kind of hoping that, because this is one of those things, art, that has always made me a lot more relaxed, so to speak. Nothing relaxes me more than just sitting in front of my iPad doing some sketching. And I love the idea that maybe, just maybe, there's someone out there in the same city I'm in who's feeling a bit anxious and they're looking for a way to unwind. And that would be super cool if they found this a suitable place to do so. So I hope that's the case. These were initially going to be leaves, but they've sort of, I'm kind of thinking of turning them into something else, actually. I'm thinking of like that Pokemon, what's it called? Sandshrew or Sandslash, I can't remember. I'm not very good at remembering the names of the Pokemon. It's even though I'm that perfect age that sort of has Pokemon ingrained into their head. I've never really been good at remembering names of anything actually, but I think it's Sandslash. It's the evolution of it, isn't it? It's not Sandshrew. The one with the spikes. I want to create these kind of... I want him to have this kind of shape, in a sense. Not like... I was going to make him a leaf, but now I don't know, I'm feeling adventurous. As adventurous as one can be when they're doing DoodleBlobs. Okay, let's do that. So this is quite a momentous occasion because it's actually my 10th stream, my 10th whole stream. There was a point where I was wondering, am I really going to make it to 10 streams? Because like there's a point where you start to sort of talk to yourself and you go a bit mad. But at the same time, it is kind of fun talking yourself through what you're actually doing as well. So even when there's no one in the chat, I'm actually kind of enjoying it nonetheless. So I'll probably do many more from to come. I'm also thinking of streaming on Instagram because I already have a bit of a following there. I won't say a huge following because I'm not one of those cool people who has like 1,000 like viewers on Instagram, but I have a few, and so with that I'm thinking of actually I don't know, growing maybe doing a live stream there and seeing if people like it. And if you're interested, my Instagram is the same as everything else, so it's actually mlloyd artist, so mlloyd artist. Yeah, oh, there you go. I said that so quickly I kind of lost track of what I was talking about. Okay, this is interesting. I think I might even, if I get rid of this edge here, I might be able to make these leaves a little bit better. Leaves? I don't know, spikes. We'll figure out what they are as we go. Okay, let's do that. And let's put that like so. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to have a few spikes that sort of look like they're coming out from the side here, like that. And we'll do the same over here. So I'm sort of polishing us off on, well, that's what I'm trying to do. This will either look amazing or it'll either look terrible. We'll soon see. There we go. I'm concentrating now. You can tell because I've sort of stopped talking. Okay. It's probably not even something really worth concentrating on. We got Oro Yuka. Hello. It's a pleasure to meet you. I don't think I've met you before. Pleasure. I'd love to ask, how did you find my stream? I'm very hard to find on Twitch because I always stream in the art channel and it's always quite populated in this one. Yeah, where are you from? What brings you here, my friend? There we go. I'm going to go like that. Oh, I've got a chatter. It's exciting. Exciting times. Let's go like that. Yeah, so I'm not really sure where I'm going with this now, actually. I think I'm going to just try and... If I add the line down the side there, I think I lose a bit of the 3D shape. So I might try and keep it like so. Let's add another one like that. And then like so. And then I think I really should polish off this weird bit here. There's a bit too much darkness here. That's from the previous edge there. So I've got a weird way of drawing, if you probably noticed. I kind of hack into my sketches in a way. It's like sculpting. Aruka, I prefer digging through the piles of streams, particularly in art styles. Oh, cool. That's great, man. Thank you. Yeah, like when I sort of started this, because this is my 10th stream, I haven't really done a lot of these yet. So I wanted to try and do an art style that you don't often see a lot on Twitch. So like you do see a lot of anime on Twitch, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I think there's so much talent involved in making anime. It's something I probably couldn't do, quite frankly. But yeah, I wanted to make, I wanted to do an art style that was really sort of different and fun. And so yeah, I tend to do a lot of weird, colourful, vibrant, abstract stuff. So if you like what you see during this stream, don't be afraid to give me a follow. Every follower counts. Southeast Asia. Oh, cool. What part? What country in Southeast Asia? Like, or should I guess? Should I try and guess? Oh man, I'm gonna guess Thailand. But just for the sake of guessing, probably. I'd love to know. Okay, let's go like that. Cool. So by the way, what I'm doing here, it's kind of fun actually. I'm making a poster, and this is a style that I call DoodleBlobs, and it's got a cool origin, the name. Basically, I draw these doodles, and this is going to be on a poster, and each stream, I say each stream, every Friday night I'm going to do one doodle. So I take this blob and I doodle inside it, and I add tentacles and I carve into it with like weird shapes. I do like little doodle patterns in sort of smaller segments, and by the end you can get some really cool images. So like if I show you one I did a while back, this has actually happened. When did I make this? Probably earlier in the year. Here we go. So this is a finished one, and hopefully my current one will actually look better than this. But I don't know. I was really proud of this one because it's such a, I don't know. It's such a jigsaw of colors. Like I always think about colors like a Sudoku puzzle. You kind of want to have contrasting colors, but not. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird way that I think, and hopefully you'll get to see that today. Let's hop on in. Okay, let's go right back to where I was, and let's start doodling again. But yeah, thank you for joining, and yeah, I hope I see you in more streams. Okay, what should I do now? I'm kind of sick of drawing in this bit. I might even polish that off after the stream, sort of just tidy it up, some of those loose lines and some of those rough edges. But I want to move in a different part now. I want to do something just a little bit different. What I usually do is I usually sort of go over here or over there, and then I kind of lose my flow a bit. So I think I'm just going to go right down, sort of like a printer. when you're printing a piece of paper, it just goes like down like that. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to start right here. And I haven't done a lot of carving yet, although one could argue I have actually, so I've sort of carved that there. Let's do a block. I'm going to like that. I'm going to add a little, what I call a block augmentation, which is just something I made up then. Don't tell anyone. It makes me sound smarter when I make up these terminologies. Oh, damn, I told you. Oh, man. One day I'll become more convincing in my lies. So let's pop in that. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I do enjoy actually myself trying to dig through some of the Twitch art stuff to try and find unique things. I found a really cool person the other day called, what is it? OzFizz. She was kind of cool. Apparently she's Australian as well. So there you go. I thought that was kind of cool. She does really cool doodle art styles, but they're sort of more 2D, and they often incorporate animals. So I thought that was really neat. Hopefully she's on again tonight and I can maybe rate her at the end. Oh, Oroyuka, it's so unique. One could call it mlloydism. I like it, man. I like it. Mlloydism. I think that flatters my ego more than anything. But you know what? I like it, my friend. You've invented a term, and my God, am I going to use it? I'm going to use it. Mlloydism. Um, I like that. It's the new cubism. It's a new, yeah, it's good. I like it. Okay, I need to release a book. How to create mlloydism in art. That'll be my my new thing. If I can do that, and I'll sell thousands to my huge following. There we go. Okay, let's go like that. I kind of like this one. That works out pretty well. I won't add too much there because I think I kind of like its simplicity. But now what I'll do, you know what, I'm going to find some inspiration here. I'm going to bring up my other DoodleBlobs image. What I often do, sort of a good technique actually. If you ever find yourself always doing the same thing all the time, looking at your older artwork, you can kind of rediscover some of the old habits that you did before, and you can kind of learn from them, and you can go, oh, I haven't done that in a while, I'm going to try that again. And so that's what I'm thinking of doing here. I'm really tempted to do something like this actually. So it's sort of like a tentacle, not even a tentacle, more like a vine, and it's got things growing off it. So I won't do exactly those things, but I will probably I like the idea of growing something. That seems really fun, so I'm going to do that. So let's draw our vine first. So I'm going to go, what I might do, I might actually add another layer, and that layer is going to be, just in case I completely balls things up, I want to make it a relatively thick vine actually. I'm going to make it twirl a bit. So making it a little bit thicker, oh god, I went really weird there, didn't I? Making it a little bit thicker will actually allow me to sort of add more things on it a little bit easier. God, I really went off the beating track with that one. That's okay, I'll figure it out. We'll just hack into it as we always do, or as I always do. It's actually funny, when I learnt to sketch, I actually learnt on my phone. So when I started sketching, I sort of did it on the train. So every day on my way to work, I'd be on the train for about 20 minutes. And yeah, essentially I'd just sort of pick up my phone, and my goal was to try and finish one quick sketch every train trip. And if I could do that, yeah, I'd sort of win my little game, the game I was playing with myself. And yeah, it actually teaches you a fair bit, because it sort of teaches you to be relatively quick in a way. So I'll go like that. I'll get rid of this little outside edge there. And then I think we'll start adding things to this vine. It's actually looking a bit thick to be a vine, isn't it? But yeah, let's figure it out. Okay. I've actually got some really interesting neighbors, and at the moment they're sort of cackling away and just screaming all sorts of nonsense. So if you hear them out the back, don't be alarmed. It's okay. They're harmless. But they just sort of they say some of the strangest things, and they make some of the weirdest sounds every now and then. Maybe that's just common. Maybe that's what all neighbors are like. Okay, let's go like this. And then what I might do, I'm thinking of just continuing this weird sort of dual branch thing that I'm doing. It's kind of fun. But I was hoping to do something a little bit more ambitious, so maybe I'll add something to them. So I'll go like this. I'll just get rid of this little, the main body of the vine. And I'll get rid of the edge there as well, or the edge of the body, and I'll do that properly. There we go. then I shall add something to it. So this is the hard part. I've got to figure out what to add to these little vines. I might, when in doubt, I usually have a rule, add a triangle. So if I can add a triangle, you'd be surprised. It tends to look pretty cool. Let's go like that. Sometimes it looks cool. I think I haven't left enough space for myself to leave a triangle, so this might not work, but we'll have a go. Yeah, the focus is on. You can tell because I'm going silent again. There we go. Let's cut into there a little bit. I think it's in this one. There we go. Cool. Yeah, I don't think I've added a lot of space to add these triangles, but maybe if I increase the size of this little branch thing, that'll make it look just a little bit more like it's actually wrapping around something like that. There we go. I think I like that more actually. That's kind of cool. Yeah, that's better. And it actually fills more of this empty space, so it kind of works. Let's go back to that triangle. We'll get rid of this little thing there. Cool. Awesome. I might start merging some of these layers just to give myself a little bit more clarity on what where I'm actually working. Before I do that, I shall do this. I'm thinking maybe that triangle will be a one-off because I'm struggling to fit it in other parts of the vine. God, I'm running out of water. There you go. Let's try this secondary glass. There we go. Okay, cool. What I could do, I could actually put some holes in this vine. That make it a little bit like a tentacle. That sounds fun. So let's go like that, and I might just edit that circle. And I've done that in a separate layer so that I can actually go into this warp tool. And what I'll do, I might go like that. So I'm kind of cheating a little bit here. If you can call it that. Cool, awesome. And then just to really emphasize that it's a hole, I'll go like so. And I'll tidy up these edges, because when you use the warp tool, things get a bit blurry. Cool, I like that. So I'll probably add a few more of those actually. What I could do, if I want to cheat even more, I'll actually just, I could copy and paste that sort of circle and sort of reuse it. I plan to have things coming out of it because that's what I usually do with holes. Have you considered doing an animation with your illustration? A looping zoom in into mlloyd fractals. God, that would be cool. That's ambitious because you can do really great animations with Procreate. And I do love the idea of even just having maybe to start off like a little vine doing a little wiggle or something like that. But one sketch that I've really wanted to do an animation for, or one style of artwork that I want to do an animation for, it's actually this one. I'll show you this. This is actually another style that I play around with quite a bit. I've been putting these on my Instagram actually. They're pretty fun. But yeah, they're actually these things. So I did this a couple of streams ago, and I call them stratum. So with stratum, that's actually the name they use for like the layers of the earth. So when you sort of see a sort of, oh God, I've knocked my camera there. But yeah, when you look at sort of a cliff side, you can kind of see the layers of the earth, and that's what this is inspired by. And what I love the idea of doing in regards to animation, I love the idea of having like each one of these components have their own sort of little animation, it would make just one of the most amazing like intermission screens, that kind of thing. And I actually had a good friend of mine, he's actually the guy who inspired me to start streaming, called Spicy Orange, and I did one for him actually. He's got a cool Twitch channel actually called Spicy Orange Gaming, so he does a lot of really cool sort of RPG kind of stuff. And yeah, what he actually wanted, when he saw this, he was like, oh, can you make it animate? Can you make it sort of like they kind of move around like a mechanic? And I was like, oh, that'd be so cool. It would take so much time though. So maybe one day I'll do it. It's an exciting prospect, and I haven't done a lot of animation. I'd love to give it a shot. But for now, I'll just plop away with these DoodleBlobs as they are. But I like your thinking, dude. Great minds think alike, and I would love to turn these into an animation at one point. What I'll do, I'll go here and I'll duplicate that. Do you do art yourself? Oroyuka. I hope that's how you pronounce it, man. Yeah, like you sound like you could be an artist. I don't know why. I get that impression. I feel like a lot of people...
Is there something else I can help with?
Oh, Siri's yakking at me here. Bear with me. There we go. You're not needed right now, Siri. Okay. But yeah, like, I don't know why. I get the impression you're an artist for some reason. I don't know what it is. And if you are, by the way, I've got a Discord, and like I don't really do anything with it at the moment. But the idea is that, and if any artists join my channel, they're actually welcome to share what they do, and I can put it on stream. I do draw, but not in colors. Oh wow, God! So like in grayscale, or just sort of like line art. I should try and, if you got an Instagram or something, feel free to pop it in the chat, and I'll give you a follow, because I'm always that's pretty much what Instagram is for me, dude. Like it's just a way of checking out all the other people's artworks. That and looking at people's cats. There's a truth that in the last couple of years, my Instagram and my YouTube, just like all my major social networking stuff, it's all just full of pictures of dogs and cats. It's kind of weird. I've become one of those people. God, I'm curious. I'm very curious about your art, man. Yeah, like you can either, if you want, you don't have to, by the way, but you're welcome to share a link in the Discord, maybe the main chat or something. Or yeah, even link in this chat if you want to, whatever you prefer. But you don't have to. Once again, I am super curious. But yeah, like one of my sort of, I suppose one of the concepts I had when I was making these, when I was sort of conceptualizing this whole Twitch thing, I love the idea of sort of starting off my stream with like other people's artwork, sort of sharing what they're doing. But I need a few more followers for that, so I'll have to wait till I get a little bit bigger, I think. But yeah, that's certainly the plan, so to speak. I might add a triangle here, but how am I going to do that actually? Because I don't want to conflict with this little shape over here. I might go. Followed you just minutes ago. Oh, that's cool. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, that's really cool. Thank you. I'm still trying to figure out if my notifications are working, because they might not be. Like, I feel a few people have actually followed me, and the sort of alert sounds that usually go off, they don't seem to be working for myself. So maybe I need to reconnect them or something. But yeah, I was kind of hoping to see some kind of notification sound there. But yeah, maybe it didn't go off. So yeah, thank you very much for the follow. I hope to see you again in future streams, my friend. Very cool. Yeah, I'm still very new at the whole Twitch thing. Like, I still don't know a lot of the lingo. Someone said to me the other day, POG, and I have no idea what that means. I have absolutely no idea what POG is, and I feel like such a noob. But I have no idea. I think it's a good thing. I think. I hope it's not something like really offensive, like piece of gravel or something. Although that would be a really weird insult, piece of gravel. I'm sure someone's been called a piece of gravel at one point in their life. Okay. Oh, nice artwork, you piece of gravel. I like that one actually. That's pretty. I like this triangle. I think it's going all right. I feel like maybe it could be a bit longer, but I'm sort of running out of space, so I might just leave it there and see what happens. If it looks good, I'll stick with it. If it doesn't, oh well. This needs a few more additions, so I'll probably add a few more of these little branches. That's what I'm kind of calling them. And I'll add this little triangle like that. I might add the triangle afterwards. That way I've got more flexibility. There we go. Cool. Lovely. Awesome. Well, my neck is starting to get a bit achy, so while I stretch out my neck and take a little sip here. Lovely. I will just quickly one of the biggest problems with drawing on an iPad is that you tend to be leaning over all the time, so you kind of need to stare up at the screen every now and then just to sort of crick your neck. So while I'm doing it, if you want, you can always check out my website. So this is mlloydartist.com, and we got Dr. O in the chat. Oh, good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Really cool. So this is my website, which is all designed by myself. I kind of treat my website a little bit like my art. I try to make it really colorful and fun, and I'm always changing it. If you do miss a stream, this is more for you, Oroyuka, you can actually click the live section, and it takes you to my YouTube channel. So a lot of these streams actually get uploaded there. In fact, all of them. So if you miss one and you really like, and you really want to see how a sketch came along, you're welcome to check that out. There's also a link to the Discord, and there's even this thing called the live stream collection. So I've actually added 2 products to the live stream collection in the last 10 streams. So I did this cool duffel bag, which is pretty fun, and I did a really cool iPhone case, and it's a lot of fun actually. I kind of enjoy making products. Feel free to check those out if you're ever interested. And also I have a cool little class actually. It's actually a great way to support me if you love what I do. So it's basically when you click this link, you get 1 month subscription to Skillshare, and you can actually do one of my classes on there, which is kind of cool. So it's a cool class where I basically teach you how to sort of draw on top of photos, but in a way where the shadows kind of match up to what's in the actual photo. So hard to describe, but you're welcome to check it out. It's pretty fun actually. So that's a little bit about what I do. So thank you for tolerating my my shameless self-promotion, but for the sake of continuing, let's quickly move on. Thank you very much. And now my neck is completely straight and feeling good. So let's get back to work. So I hope you're doing well, Dr. O. It's good to see you again in the chat. Dr. O is my most loyal of viewers, and he's always tuning in. It's always interesting to hear what he's been up to. Yeah, I'm doing well, dude. As well as one can be in our COVID lockdown, but I'm doing really well. Can't really complain. But yeah, like, what else? What am I doing at the moment? Yeah, so I'm actually working on the 3rd DoodleBlob. So I think you've watched both of them, haven't you? So kind of curious about what the colors are going to be in this one. I was planning to do some sort of reds and greens, blues to sort of complement the purple and the yellow. So do something a little bit different. But I like where it's going at the moment. I'm kind of liking this weird vine thing. I feel it's added just enough difference to the overall DoodleBlob. You like this one? Oh, good. I'm glad you like this one, dude. What, you don't like the other ones? Jeez, God, my harsh critics. Yeah, we've also joined by another viewer, would you believe, which is pretty rare for this channel. So we got Oroyuka in the chat, and he came up with a really cool term that I'm going to try and make catch on, and it's called mlloydism. So when I come up with sort of dumb strategies, like I don't know, augmenting or carving into reality. You know, my dumb sort of phrases. We can actually call it mlloydism. We've got like a cool new term now. I really like it. It's going to be like cubism, but like mlloydism. It's great. I love it. And it really just does so much to just flatter my ego. So yeah, I'm super excited. And I'm going to release a book as well called the logic of mlloydism. Yeah, welcome indeed. Let's do it. Let's get some. So I've added some triangles, Dr. O. As your, I'm sure you'd be proud. So I've added some triangles to these vines, which kind of looks all right. I feel like the line on this one needs to be a little bit thicker though, because it's a little bit out of place. And you know what? I'm going to cheat again. I'm going to move this just down a bit, like so. There we go. And that will allow me to sort of increase the thickness of one of these lines, because looking at it, oh, it doesn't look so bad, I suppose. I think it's this line that's kind of bothering me. Mlloyd already sounds like a shape in and of itself. You're probably, yeah, you're kind of right. It's an mlloyd shape. I'll use that in discussion, and people will sort of raise their eyebrows at me and go, or one eyebrow at me, which is even worse. And yeah, I'll use it. I promise, and I'll tell you how it goes. Let's do that. Ooh, there we go. I don't know why I'm struggling with this little triangle thing here at the moment. I'm having one of those. I'm having an mlloyd moment. There we go. Let's do that. Yeah, but what have you been up to, Dr. O? Anything exciting, or as exciting as it can be in these strange times we live in? I might add a bit of curvature to this part. There we go, and I'll carve into that a bit more. There we go, and I might add just a little bit of lines over here like that. Because why not? As exciting as lockdown can be, been getting into Deathloop. Oh, that's right, you were telling me about that the last stream. I'm super jealous. I really wish it was on PlayStation 4, but that game looks so cool. And I feel like the reviews of it have actually been really good as well. So apparently you sort of keep going back to the same time loop. Oh no, so you go to the same time back and forth or something. And you sort of approach, I think the goal is to get everyone in the same place or something. It sounds really interesting. But yeah, like I'm super keen to give that a shot. I'll have to buy a PlayStation 5 one day. I might wait for the price to go down a bit. Ah, there we go. That's cool. Yeah, the game I've been playing actually at the moment is Mafia 3. So that's a pretty old one. I think it came out 2000 and God, what is it? 2016? I might be wrong there, but yeah, it got a lot of flack because it wasn't as good as the previous. I don't know. Actually, no, it got a lot of flack because it was really buggy. But I really like it. I think it's a great game. So Orayuka says, "Don't worry, I'll even use the term as a sneaky lead up to." Thanks, man. You're going to become my publicity agent. I like it. Yeah. Thank you. If we all make a commitment to use mlloyd as, yeah, just a sort of, I suppose, a descriptive word. I think we can get some traction here. It'll be it's my new marketing strategy. Yes, Mafia is an amazing game. I loved all of them. You know, I've never played the first or the second one. I hear the second one's like the most popular. But yeah, like, and there's actually been a remaster that's been released, and I'm kind of keen to play that one because it looks like a lot of fun. Even though it's sort of got a lot of flack in the reviews, but I don't know. I'm starting not to value reviews as much because I feel like every time a reviewer says a game's really average, it's actually awesome. And every time a reviewer says a game is really fun. I find it really average. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm an average kind of person. Maybe that's my... There you go. That can be my catchphrase. Yeah, mlloyd, an average kind of guy. Don't listen to the haters. It's a great game. Yeah, I agree. It's such a cool game. Like, I can't remember if I asked you this last time, but did you ever play Dishonored or even Prey? Because that's the same developer as Deathloop. And like Dishonored is by far my favorite game of all time, which is kind of weird. It's such an awesome game. When you finish with Deathloop, get that one. Yeah, trust me, Dishonored, just it is literally a work of art. Like they made the whole thing look like a watercolor painting, which may be one of the reasons I like it. But it's just got this really dark and gritty mood that you just can't get in other. You just don't see in other games. There's such an originality to it, and it actually uses the same game engine, so it's really cool. And there's also Prey. So Prey is pretty much like the science fiction version of Dishonored and Deathloop, I think. Although Deathloop's kind of science fiction as well. Prey is set on this major, like this really big sort of space station, and it reminds me a lot of the Metroid games. Oh god, it's such a good game. Even thinking about it, it's just so interesting. Like, oh man, play it, please play it. I want to hear your opinion on it because it's so sick. And it's once again, it's just got a brilliant art style. I'll find a way to get it to you in lockdown. Very cool. Okay, so I don't really know what I'm doing here actually. I got distracted by talking about Dishonored. Never ever get me talking about Dishonored, because if you do, and it's hard because I always talk about it, but yeah, my art always goes off the beating track when I start talking about that game. What am I doing here? What am I actually doing? My hands are moving and I don't have any control over them. They've just sort of gone down this path where they're just sort of adding weird lines and squiggles, and you know what? I think I'm gonna just pull back a bit. There we go. Okay, let's zone out and let's focus. Let's get my mind back in play. And I need some inspiration, so I'm going to flick out this reference guide to the previous DoodleBlobs sketch I made a while back. I've already augmented that. I might put in a pattern, like a 2D pattern, although I kind of did that before in the other one. What should I do? Ooh, slime. I haven't done a lot of that. I did a little bit in one of the loops. In one of the... I was going to call them death loops. I did a little bit in one of the DoodleBlobs, but... yeah, I haven't done a lot of it, so I might... You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to close this little reference window, if I can remember how. There we go. Cool. And I'm going to add some slime. There we go. That's what it needed. It needed some slime. But the trick is, how am I going to add this slime? The question is, I should say. Let's go like this. Wonderful. Okay, that looks okay. I'll do that. Oh, yeah, that'll be fine. I'm kind of using a trick I did in the exact last stream, where I sort of did it over here. I was sort of struggling. For some reason I did that. But I'm going to go like that. I'm going to get rid of the edge of this DoodleBlob like that. And it's kind of weird because the slime is traveling upwards. And then I'll have little things coming out of the slime this time, so just to add a bit of diversity to the entire image. There we go. Okay. Lovely. So once again, I'm sort of on the prowl for new TV shows to watch, because in our lockdown I should say, I've run out. I've actually completely run out of TV shows, and I've to the point where like I've kind of I've sort of unsubscribed from a lot of the libraries that I was previously subscribed to. Although I usually do that cheap thing where, oh no, you take your time, Oriyuka, you Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you here at all. So you relax. But yeah, essentially I sort of cancelled my Netflix and my Amazon Prime stuff, and I'm on the prowl for a new subscription service. So I can't decide what to get. I'm thinking binge because I've never tried that before. So that's an interesting one. Okay, let's pop that like so. Wonderful. Oh wow, we've got a total of 4 viewers. Wow, that's sick. That's a lot for me. Really cool. To anyone new, hello, nice to meet you, and you are absolutely welcome to follow, but you don't have to. But yeah, for those people who have joined recently, this is what I call DoodleBlob. So I take a blob and I doodle into it. It's a pretty simple concept, but eventually it becomes this really, hopefully, it'll become a really fun poster with these really complex sort of doodles and drawings inside of it. And maybe I'll sell it on my website if it's any good. If it's not, I don't know, maybe I'll release it on Patreon as like a desktop wallpaper or something, but I don't know. Still sort of deciding. I don't have binge, and it's just for, I only have binge. Oh, cool. And it's just for Hawaii 5-0. I've never watched that, but I've heard good things about it actually. So maybe I should check it out. It's like a cop show, isn't it, from memory? It's like one of those shows where there's like crimes and there's some like really sultry guy who kind of goes, ooh, this is the thing. Or is that CSI Miami? I could be wrong. Okay, let's add a few little lines here for some detail. Yeah, it's just a typical cop/crime show. Cool. No, there's nothing wrong with that. That's pretty cool. Anything is better than nothing. So I'll give it a look. I'll watch a few episodes. Let's go like that. And yeah, cool. I've done them on a separate layer. So I'm going to add these like cylinders poking out of the slime. Just like so. And I may have to take a quick intermission in a few moments just to get some more drink. Because I'm running low. There we go. It's this time of the night, so it's actually been, how long have I been sketching for? 1 hour and 20 minutes. My God. Time flies. Time is certainly flying with these doodle blobs. It's just too much fun. And I'll add a little bit more detail to this cylinder. So I'll go like that. Cool. So I'm thinking of streaming more often, because at the moment as I've only been starting, I sort of stream on Wednesday nights and Friday nights, and I don't know, I'm kind of thinking of doing maybe like, I don't know, Friday morning or something, or no, not Friday mornings, a different morning, but a morning stream. I've never done that before, so I'm kind of thinking of doing that, but I don't really know what time to do. So if you've got any suggestions, you're always welcome to let me know. But yeah, like, I've sort of got a streaming coach, if you will. He doesn't know that he's my coach, but he's a guy who I kind of listen to for advice on this kind of stuff. That's Spicy Orange. So if he tells me I need to do a certain thing to grow my channel, I'll pretty much just do it. And he's saying I need to stream more. I just need to stream more and more, and eventually I'll develop a really cool following. Morning would be fun. Good time for the US. Yeah, I'm thinking that too. Like I was actually playing around with an app that shows you different sort of time zones, and so you can put your own time in, and you can see what that kind of looks like for other countries. And one time was actually like 6 a.m. because that sort of gives you lunchtime for both sides of, I say both sides, it gives you close to lunchtime for both sides of America, but it kind of gives you 9 p.m. for England or something. So yeah, it gives you some interesting time zones. So I'm curious about that. I might even give that a shot. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of interesting. Like if I can't do it consistently, I don't want to do it because then I'll just end up disappointing people because I won't be able to meet their expectations. But I might give it a shot. It's been a long time since I've done anything sort of remotely using brain cells at 6 a.m. in the morning. But yeah, it might be an interesting experience. So maybe I'll give that a shot. Okay, where's this sketch going? I feel like the slime is cool, but I certainly like the cylinders poking out of it. My only issue with it is that it kind of dominates this a little bit too much. I think what I will do, I'll get rid of this thing here, and I shall maybe, I'm thinking whether or not I should completely reconsider this. I can put you on one of my monitors as I work. Oh yeah, you could. No, but you don't have to. You don't have to. You might get in trouble, dude. Are you like when? I assume you work from home at the moment. Do you have like anyone monitoring your kind of screen as you? Because I always wondered how that works. Like, how do they actually? How do they do like quality control with these places? Maybe they just trust you. Maybe it's one of those kind of places. I don't know, but. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's an interesting thing. I work from home. There is no one to tell me off. It's a good thing. It's a good thing, dude. And you also don't have to travel like back and forth to work. How cool is that? Like, there are these benefits to this work from home stuff. It's very cool. But yeah, you're absolutely welcome to, but don't do it if it gets you into trouble. That's my yeah. Or if you find it too distracting. Turn me off. I don't mind at all. I'd rather you keep your job. Okay, I feel like I need to do something here in this space. It's just a little bit too empty for my liking. What should I do? Maybe if I add a line here. No, not there, but maybe like this. This might be a cool technique. So I sort of did this in the other DoodleBlob sketch I did. And the reason it works is I can kind of change the color of that and add just a little bit more complexity to the overall image. So what I'll do, I'll go like this. There we go. Very cool. Awesome. And I don't want to add too much complexity to these little shapes though, because if I add any elements inside it, it might just overwhelm the image. You know what? I think it's time once again. I'll refer to my previous sketch and I shall look for inspiration here. What can we do? I've poked in some cylinders. I could do one of these actually. That's kind of cool. I might even do that over here. That could be a bit of fun. I'm starting to feel inspired. Okay. Oh, there we go. My tummy's making all sorts of strange noises. I promise you it's not hunger. I'm not starving. But if anything, it's the opposite. I had a little bit too much for dinner. And it's making all sorts of movement down there, but that's okay. Such is the life of an artist. So I'm going to do something like that. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a tree, which is kind of weird because it's really nothing like a tree. But yeah, let's try that. Okay. Oh, I need a drink. There we go. Ah, lovely. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I like that. That kind of works. I need to do something with this though. So I'm thinking what I will do. Okay, I'll be honest. I'm not actually thinking at all. I was kind of hoping something really clever would come into my mind as I said, I'm thinking I'm going to do, and then nothing came. So I've sort of just started doing this, and actually, you know what? I kind of like this actually. This is kind of cool. If in doubt, let the hand do the thinking. I'll just sit here and watch as my hand makes strange movements. I like it actually. It's kind of cool. Reminds me of like a glove, but with far too many fingers. Okay, let's go like that. Okay. So I've been playing this. I'll admit I've actually been really addicted to this game, and it's one of those. It's one of those games that's just completely mindless, and it's like a multiplayer thing, and it's on like iPad. I'll quickly show you. It's on my mind, and it's, what do they call it? Worm.io, and it's so much stupid fun. It's just hilarious. And well, this is the first time I've done gaming on a stream, but all you do is you sort of eat stuff, and as you get bigger and bigger, you have to try and take down all the other worms and sort of like eat all their shit. It's cool. And you just get bigger and bigger, and to the point where you're this huge worm, and you got these little tiny worms just like chewing at you. Oh, can I kill this guy? No, I can't. There you go. Game over. You know, if I ever become affiliate, like that's something I want to do. I want to make it so that when you use those, what do they call them? Like points, like channel points. I'll play like a level of that or something. But it can go for a while. I low-key love this game. Good, it's not just me. It's something so much fun about it. I don't know what it is, but it's really cool. I should go against you one day. I don't think it's really one of those kind of games, though, is it? It's sort of, because there's so many people involved. You're just sort of going against everyone. There we go. And there's actually a lot of those apps on the store. There used to be another one that I really loved, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was exactly the same game, just a different developer, and same concept. I feel like there's another game that'll, like, that same game just keeps replacing itself with another sort of worm game. It's kind of weird. It's the dumb iOS games that always get me. Yeah, it's true, isn't it? Like, it's weird. There's so many cool like little indie games on iOS, and it's probably the same for Android as well. But in the end, it's always these kind of weird, grindy sort of like mass multiplayer games that get you, isn't it? It's strange. Like it's like Fruit Ninja and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I like what I did with this. I think that's a cool thing. I was so addicted to Flappy Bird. I remember that. God, everyone was addicted to that, weren't they? That was really weird. That was so strange how big that got. And I always love the story of what happened with the developer. Basically, if you don't know, the developer was like, the game got so big that he started to get intimidated by his own greatness. He was like, I can't handle this fame anymore. So he actually, I think he pulled it off the App Store after a couple of months, and then people started making clones of it and stuff like that. And I think he eventually re-released it. But yeah, I think he was having issues with the impact it was having on society. I think he was it was like he made this thing, and it sort of got out of control, and he just couldn't quite hack it. So he sort of gave it up, and he pulled it off the store, which is I've never seen that happen since, but it's such a weird story. Let's go like this. So I feel like if I go like that, I can kind of finish off this sort of shape thing that's sitting underneath the vine. I might do it a little bit smoother though, like that. Very cool. I remember people selling phones with the original. Yeah, it was weird, wasn't it? Like, people did that. You go on eBay and buy a game with Flappy Bird on there. It was such a strange thing. What a weird thing. What a weird time. God, that was so unusual. Um, yeah, I wonder if that's on Apple Arcade because Apple's like game subscription service thing. It's brought a lot of those games back, like Fruit Ninja and some of those games that weren't very good as sort of either subscription models or microtransactions. So it's sort of yeah, it's kind of weird. It brought a lot of those weird games back. I can't remember many of them because I didn't used to play them as often as that Worms game I play. But certainly others did, and they're sort of making a weird comeback, which is interesting. Okay, so I'm adding these triangles, which I think is actually a good fit. I like these triangles. I think they work. That's kind of cool. I might do something here as well. I'm going to add a sort of curve, a sort of line here. I'm going to make it a little bit curved just so I can keep that sort of shape and that form. I feel like my mind's back in control. The hand was in control for a second there, but now I'm in control and I'm just sort of, I know what I'm doing. There we go. Yeah, this is looking kind of cool. What I'll do, I'll get out my dot brush. I'm going to add just a sort of bit of, I call this sand texture, even though, I don't know, maybe grainy texture is a better word for it. That's another mlloydism. And I'll pop that in and we'll see how we go. There we go. I want it to sort of gradually fade. You know, like those really lame haircuts that people get in Melbourne. I remember getting one of those fade haircuts myself and I just felt so ashamed after it. I was like, what have I become? I'm the same as everyone else. There we go. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's okay. I like that. And I'll put some over here as well. I'm going to need to take an intermission very briefly because I've run out of water. And water is a pretty essential thing for this, I've discovered. Because like, if you don't drink enough, your mouth starts making those gross sounds, like it's really gross. So I'm gonna take a very quick break. During my break, you can actually listen to my rockin' tunes. So yeah, I'm actually also a musician. So I once studied musical composition a time ago, and yeah. So during my intermission, you can hear some of the music I've been doing. I might do this one so you can hear some fresh tunes. I think I did the other one last time, so let's do this one. But yeah, it shouldn't be too long. Usually about 5-10 minutes at the most. And yeah. Stay tuned, my friends, and we'll probably fill this in with color afterwards because we've sort of reached that point in the sketch where it's kind of filled with stuff. I really like this one. I think this DoodleBlob's looking super cool. So hang back and stay tuned, and I'll be back in a few moments. And I'm back. Thank you for waiting, everyone. I hope you enjoyed my little intermission sequence. I'm now filled all my glasses with water. Yes, I carry 2 glasses to every stream because I don't have a bottle. I think I left